Hey, everybody. Well, I don't know. Game didn't go as you would hope for. I guess you could say that. It's maybe what we expected, but not what we hoped for. But we're going to talk a lot about the Portland match and just the run of play, I guess, of late. And if we have a shot in hell to make the playoffs. So, of course, I don't do this alone, even though we're trying to rush and get it done tonight to get this after the game. Of course, I can't do it alone. Here is Uncle Ed.
How you doing, boys and girls? Here we are, another upsetting game. We're going to talk a little bit more about it with Peter. Peter's back.
Yes.
I hope you guys, don't worry. The Ted got some hate last week.
People, what happened there? Why not? I mean, I thought he was good.
Yeah, I thought his rapping would win the people over. He didn't do any live raps. I think that might have been it.
Yeah, well, Ted has got a unique sense of humor.
Yeah,
that we get, but maybe not everybody else gets.
Exactly. So. But we got Peter Brown last week. He was being a good dad.
Yeah, so just a little background is I'm a single dad right now. So my wife is in Brazil for 3 weeks. And so there's things that maybe she would have done that I now have to kind of pick up the slack for and drive my daughter around, do some things. So, family's more important. And luckily, Ted was came in to at the last minute.
Well, Peter, he was the only one that wanted to do it. I begged a lot of people, and he was our last, resort, I guess. So we had to go with Ted.
All right.
He was thinking that he was doing a better job than you.
Of course he thinks that. Yeah, of course.
And he thinks that he's going to eventually kick you out of Football Miami TV.
All right.
So, and he said he's going to make a song about you.
That'd be all right. I would love to hear that.
Yeah, so we can look forward to a song for Peter Brown.
All right, trying to adjust my screen a little bit as you're talking so that you can see this cool sponsor shirt. Somebody was mentioning it. So,
well, where'd you get that, Peter?
Well, let's talk about that. Actually, I wasn't able to I took a couple cool pictures of what I bought, but because of this being, trying to put the show together while watching a game and all that, it didn't happen. So, but I'll model the other shirt next week. But of course, I went to Caneswear, and Caneswear is where you should go. And I'm going to actually update this photo as well. But with some shots I took. But you got to go to Caneswear. Caneswear is in Davie. They've got a great selection of Inter Miami gear. And if you're a fan of University of Miami, they got everything. If you're a fan of the Dolphins, they got a lot. Marlins, they got some. Panthers, they're going to fill the store with Panthers stuff soon too. So, it's a great local team store. But if you go there and you use the code PB25, you will get a discount. You will get a 25% off discount, and that's a solid discount. And I was able with that discount. Basically, look, this shirt they got. It's like what on I think they go for like $130.
Yeah,
right.
Pretty expensive.
So I bought this one, and then I bought the white kind of polo shirt. There's a collarless polo that you see Phil Neville will once in a while.
Yeah,
Phil Neville wear once in a while.
Phil Neville. Yeah,
well, that was a tongue twister for me. But he wears that one once in a while, and I bought that one as well. But so with the discount, those two items combined basically came to the price of what this would be normally. So It's almost like I got a shirt for free by going to Caneswear. And here's another cool thing. And this is neat for anybody that's interested. In this one, you'll need to go into the store for this one. I mean, the discount code works in store or online. But for this, what I'm going to offer you right now, you got to go in store. If you have last year's shirt, the last year's polo jersey, and you want to get the sponsor on last year's shirt, they will do that for you. for $10. $10. $10, and they will put this logo on anything, basically. That's what they told me.
Nice. Well, I'm definitely going to go do that because I've got my white one from last year that I want to definitely put that stuff on, and I got to update also my wife's jersey that I bought over there. I got to put the sponsor on in the front.
They actually put some sponsors on some of what last year was called the Rosa Negra. They put it on some of the Rosa Negras, and I took a picture of it. It's hanging in the store. So they've already got some with last year's shirt, and I kind of chuckled when I saw that, and they were like, "Yeah, why not?"
That's pretty cool.
So, Kata saying, "Why ruin your jersey?" So that's some people that is the weird thing. That is the weird thing. Some people do not like sponsors, but I think it is pretty universal that most soccer fans, not all, most prefer having a sponsor on their jersey. So much so to where people kind of complain if you don't have a sponsor. So, but hey, you don't want a sponsor? Don't get one with a sponsor. It's your call.
Cool. It's whatever you guys want to do. And Peter, I want to say hi to some people that got on the chat early.
Yes, let's do that.
One of the main culprit who was against Ted Sikowski.
I read the comments.
Esteban Dido.
Yeah.
I don't know how Ted rubbed him the wrong way, but Esteban, how you doing, bud? Thanks for joining us. One World, One Goal. She's always supporting us. She's also here. We've got Eric Thomas, our good friend Eric Thomas, who left us hanging the last time he was in town. This guy's probably going to be happy because his Atlanta's doing better than we are. A new Wiseman, how you doing, bud? He must be happy because they've got some distance from us right now, so it looks like they're going to be okay. Mighty Justin is also in the house. You mentioned Kata. How you doing, bud? He just we got Judge Dredd the Law.
Oh,
of course.
He jumped down.
Good old Judge Dredd. Oh yeah. So, we also have Jet Pancake, one of your favorite breakfasts, Peter Brown. Carlos C. How's it going, bud? Joseph Jem. And yeah, he's talking about the PB25, right?
Correct.
I wonder what the PB means.
Hey, look, I didn't come up with the code. I did not make the code. They told me what it was.
Peter Brown, and
it's still good. It's going to be good for the rest of the season.
Look at that, PB25. Yes, guys, go get your jerseys. Go get everything from Caneswear. And Richard Greenberg, how you doing?
All the way from Toronto.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Whoever, if you guys get on, please chime in, and we will definitely look over your comments and in the chat room and see what we can pick up from there. So that's it for now, Peter Brown. I guess we can get to it.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up the standings. I'm curious as to where this puts us. Same place, 11th. So we're still in the same predicament.
How many points could you? Let me look up the standings.
Well,
myself.
I will put that up on the screen here in just a second. There you go.
Yeah, I just saw it right now.
So we are, so New England is clinched. You got Nashville that came in at the same time as us, doing way better than we are.
Nashville, yeah.
Yeah. And we're way down here at 11th. So we are still 8 points out. If I remember, we were 8 points out before the seats start. So,
so we're back where we were.
Yeah, and it looks like the other games that played, I mean, as of today and everything, that nothing else really impacted us since the start of this game, at least. Because the announcers were saying, I think we were 8 points out. So, yeah. So we,
hard for us to make it, is what you're saying. It's going to be one hell of a battle. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think because next game is up in New York. New York is not anything great either, but better than us.
We lost against them. Yeah, lost against them.
When I was in Caneswear yesterday, and I was talking to Jeff at Caneswear, and he was asking me about Portland, and my simple answer was better than us. That seems to be the answer to most of the questions that may be there. Better than us.
It looked like we were going to have a chance, Peter. And like today's game as well, it looked like we had a chance. We were in there. We didn't play that bad, man. And there's a couple players that I think did really well. Breck Shea being one of them. I thought he was great until he got injured and they took him out in the second half. Everybody had their moments. Higuain was playing like a playmaker. He was way in the back. Pizarro disappointing again. He just seems to keep disappointing. I don't think he's going to be on the team for very long.
I was wondering, did Pizarro play today? Because I saw it. Here's the thing: I saw him on the field, but did he actually play?
Right. It seemed like he wasn't there.
He ran around. I saw him moving around here and there. He touched the ball here and there. Nothing to great effect. No good defense, no good offense. Maybe a play here or there where he looked okay, but not DP level.
No.
I would take for what he's doing. I'll take another Chapman.
Right?
Another kind of MLS journeyman, low budget type of player that's not a big hit on your roster cap. Take somebody like that because they'll do just as good a job or better.
Right, and I saw Morgan had that one shot. Looked like he had a chance to in the second half where he could have maybe ran in a little bit, gotten a little closer, gotten somebody else to run in, and maybe he could have thrown the pass, or he could have shot also. But he just took the shot, from way out, and it kind of took his time doing it. So and then shot the ball directly at the keeper. So that was disappointing.
Yeah. But at the same time, I can't complain about Morgan at all this game. Most of the offense went through him on that right hand side. He was so active. And there's things he could have done better for sure, but I can't complain, and I've complained about him a little bit. I don't know if I did on the show or just in my head, but he has been a disappointment this year in comparison to last year. Right. But he's our Inter Miami journeyman. He's played in every single game. He started, I think, every single game we've ever played.
The man's a machine, and he's been pretty regular, I guess you could say. He's pretty regular, and but what other players can we mention? The keeper, obviously did pretty well, I think, considering how hard it is to defend, in front of that Timbers army, man. Those guys they're intense.
Yeah, but Marsman did pretty good, but there was a couple. Lately, he's been punching the ball a little bit, and every time he punches the ball, I get scared. And this time, it almost cost him. Now, okay, you could say the sun was in his eyes, but
I was going to say that. Yeah.
But I'm kind of like, if you could do this, you could do this.
Right.
That's all. I'm just thinking. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm not a goalkeeper, but I just feel like he's got to stop punching the ball. He is a big upgrade over McCarthy, but stop punching the damn ball. But
yeah, well, look at Cotta just put something going back to Morgan. He says he just can't cross it this year.
His crosses are awful. It's so bad, so that Higuain has been taking away the corner kicks from him. Like, there was a couple of times where Morgan's ready to go take the corner, and Pizarro comes over and goes, "Nah, man." And there was one of the times where Morgan kind of looked upset about it. Not this game, but in one of the recent games. And maybe it was the last one. But is that you?
Yeah, it was. Okay. The wife sent me a message. So she doesn't come in the room when I'm filming, so she sends me a message. So
Ale Boss says we got robbed. Ale Boss.
On the goal with the Carranza goal.
Carranza goal. That was not a foul. That guy went down so easy.
Right. I didn't think it was a foul either. I think they definitely took that goal against from us. I think it should have been tied. I think we played very well, considering. but that's the way soccer is. You win some, you lose some, and mostly we lose a lot lately. So
Yeah, clearly. You look at you look at the run that we had, and it goes down as just that, a good run. We had a good run, but now this is, we're not maybe as. I think we've improved. I think the formation has definitely been a better formation than previously. I think we were pretty good defensively this game, even though there was that momentary lapse where the substitute comes in and nobody's covering him and they score a goal. But when he scored, it was like you knew that was coming. They had several opportunities. It was bound to happen. Whether it was that play or another one coming, it was about to happen.
Yeah, and Peter, you should mention the number we've got down there.
Yeah, if you guys want to vent, call 786-474-4435 and
let us know what you think.
Esteban is still, I think, railing a little bit on Ted. Peter, welcome back. You were truly missed. You have no idea. Highlighted comment. I think that's still a complaint about Ted.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
But you know what? If somebody's going to step in, you want him to be remembered.
He's remembered, I guess.
He left an impression.
He did. Maybe not a good one, but I don't think it was that bad.
But you know what I was thinking? I see these on my desk. They gave these away at a recent game. I don't know if you can see that. They gave these a couple games ago. And I think what they gave them for is for us to wipe our tears.
Yeah, because, man, we're terrible, man. Playoffs seem like they're beyond our reach.
It's not going to happen, Ed.
Unless we have some miracle and win the next few games.
Yeah, I forget how many games they have left. I think it's somewhere around 8, and they need 8 points behind. So we have to get a point in every game, and hope nobody else gets any points.
Yeah. So basically, we got to win every game.
And I know this has been Jonathan saying they cheated my cousin. Yes, they did. They did. I'm going back through some of the comments to see if there was anything we should talk about. But
MLS bosses, the MLS refs is everybody always thinks we have terrible refs. Some of our players have even said it. I think Wayne said it.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah, because that was not a foul and all that. So
we deserved to have that goal. And for a second there, I was like, oh man, all right, we got a game now. That would have definitely made the game a lot more exciting. But it ended the way it did. We lost again. We're getting used to this, man. The losing.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. This is still running over from last week. Got to be honest, Ted was not it. Made Uncle Ed look bad.
Oh, darn.
Man, it's continuing from last week. Anyways, let's go to hey, let me check something here quick.
You got a voice call?
We do. So
oh boy.
Let's do this and let's do that. And this should now work. A little trick. All right.
I just wanted to say I am so upset with the referee. I think he made a lot of bad calls, even for Portland too. Even as an Inter Miami fan, I could say that he made really bad calls that shouldn't have favored Portland. But I feel like Ed said we lose some, we win some, but we cannot afford to be losing anymore. We are so desperate to win, to grasp that final playoff spot. But if little things like that happen, then I don't think it's ever gonna happen, because we keep getting robbed, and it's so annoying.
Yeah, agreed. That's the thing about complaining about the refs, saying we got robbed. I could say that goal, yeah, we did. We should have at least been able to tie it up, right? But so often we blame the refs, and at the end of the day, maybe they make one good or bad call depending on which angle you're looking at. But it's generally the team normally played bad most of the game. So it's like, okay, sure, made a bad call here or there, but
it is what it is.
Well, I just think that the team puts themselves in that position. If they were up to nothing, right? If they played better on defense and had an actual offensive attack, we wouldn't be blaming the ref. It wouldn't be the ref's fault. So that's what I'm saying. Is sure, he was a bad ref. Sure, it should have been a penalty. It should have been a goal and not a foul. But our pathetic attack and our lack of concentration on the defense. I mean, that's where you end up. Because a ref is going to have a bad call here and there. What stinks is they have the VAR and they look at it and they still called it. Because but I guess you look at it like, hey, Carranza did touch the guy. Right, he did put his hand on the shoulder, and sometimes you just touch it. I mean, look, earlier Higuaín went down. Same thing. Guy just barely touched Higuaín, and he went down. So I mean, that's just part of the game. And then it's up to the ref to make a call, and he made a call in favor of Higuaín that time, and it wasn't a foul. But Higuaín, being the professional, he knew he goes down. That's what
he goes down. He's going to get that foul. They're going to call it on him because he's a DP and one of the most famous players that we've got. So one of the guys in the chat's asking, Peter, do you know how much we got for how much Inter Miami got for the sponsorship?
Yeah, it's supposed to be around $5 million a year for a 4-year deal with a potential for a 5th or more.
Nice.
So there's an option year. So they're getting approximately, from what we hear, it's the team has not officially said anything, but from what we hear, it's $5 million a year. What a new Weissman had said. He was correct. Kata thinks that Robinson is too green. Another MLS team, he would be a sub. Yeah, maybe, but look at what we got. And Carranza, Carranza came in like pretty nice in the second half, but in the past when he started, he's not the answer either. I would prefer Robbie Robinson start over Carranza and let Carranza come in like he did.
Yeah, they're paying him a lot less money than they're paying Carranza. Carranza just, he just one of those bad deals, that Tubby made.
Yeah, and Robbie's not going anywhere. Anybody that's complaining about Robbie, he's not going anywhere. This team is penalized because of the Matuidi scandal, so we're going to be short some money. And Robinson's cheap. Whenever you draft a guy, you got him cheap. Carranza's expensive. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Carranza out of here, cut any dead weight. Now, of course, I mean, you got to look at, I don't know all the machinations of the league. How do you get if you cut a player, even though he's got another year in his contract, is he off the books? Or, because there's these situations where you could buy people out of their contract. So I don't really know, because there's several contracts we need to drop. But they all have another year on their contract, per se. So, like Pizarro, Matuidi. These guys, I think, have another year on their contract. So, and say Carranza. So those three off the top of my head. And so if we cut them, does that mean we just automatically... Are we still getting some cap hit for those players? I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly how all that works. I have to do a little research on the complicated MLS rules.
Matuidi's a DP, so we definitely open up a DP spot. Carranza wasn't, but he's expensive.
Right.
So,
and that's what I'm getting at. It's not just about DPs. It's about money available now because we're playing with 1 or 2 million less. So
right.
And Kata's helping us out here, and that's what I thought. I thought he was right. You could only buy one player out per season. Right, and that's what we did with this past year. That's what we did with Pellegrini. We bought him out, and that's I thought there was some sort of restriction. So thank you, Kata, for that confirmation. So okay, let's play that game.
So what happens, Peter, when they buy a player out? What does that mean?
So whatever money is owed to him is off the books. Now you free up that money.
Okay. And
because you could cut a player, but what his cap that cap hit is still hitting you for the duration of that contract, if I understand correctly.
Right.
So let's go down that rabbit hole and ask also the chat here. If you can only buy out one contract, which contract are you buying out?
Which one you want off the books?
Which one?
Yeah.
So as much as I was complaining about Carranza, I'd rather free up a DP spot, right? So so are you dropping Pizarro or Matuidi to clear out the cap?
Well, I think Pizarro's probably on his way out anyway. He had interest from a couple teams in Mexico, one of them being Chivas. I think that's probably what it's going to happen, what he's going to do. I think he didn't play well enough these past couple of years for him to his goal, and I think what they wanted to do, what Inter Miami wanted to do, was for to shop him around in Europe. But I think that he just hasn't done enough for any team overseas to really want to give him a chance. So
yeah,
I think he'll go to Mexico.
So if we could sell Pizarro, then that would not be an issue, right? Because you don't need to worry about buying out his contract because there would be a transfer fee and all that. That would cover that, if I'm guessing.
And I think that could happen for Pizarro. I think that there's a possibility that will occur if he goes to a Mexican team. We might lose money, but we'll open up that DP space. So that's, I think, what's important. I'm not sure about Matuidi though. I think he only had a year contract and they
did he?
I think so, and with an option. I don't think.
See, I don't know. We'd have to go back. That's the one thing is quite often that they don't talk about that stuff. So it's a little and then when the players first signed, they sometimes will talk about it a little bit. But I'm not. Right. I honestly don't remember.
If I didn't have to buy out anybody, it'd probably be Blaise Matuidi. He's expensive, and
so you think you would buy out Matuidi and try your damnedest to sell Pizarro,
right? And open up those two spaces and bring in some new guys. I heard Luka Modric they're talking to him again.
How old is he?
Of course, he's 35, I think.
That's what I thought. That's why I asked.
But he's still playing well. So I
don't want another old guy, Ed. I don't want to be the retirement team.
I know, but we do need a number 10, and Pizarro's not that.
No, he's not.
What's his name? The other Higuain. He's getting old. I like the way he plays, but I think he's probably in his last year, man. He's not that expensive either, though. But I don't know if he's still got the legs for another season.
Right. So here's some thoughts in the chat. Chris Menendez is voting on getting rid of Matuidi. One World, One Goal says dump Pizarro. A new Weissman says Higuain. They're not getting rid of him. He's scored the most goals, even though his most famous move in the entire season is this. That's his most famous move, is throwing his hands in the air and waving like he just don't care. Kata wants to bring Agudelo back and get rid of Matuidi and Pizarro. I don't know. What's Agudelo doing?
He is with Minnesota right now.
Is he actually playing?
Yeah, he's playing.
Getting time?
Yeah, he's getting some time. He's not a starter, I think, but he's getting playing minutes. So he's still got something left in the gas tank.
All right. Jet Pancake says get rid of Pizarro. Footballer just wants to get rid of everybody. Well, it doesn't work like that. Can't do that.
Reset and clean house.
Yeah. A new Weissman is questioning your pick there. 35?
Yeah,
too old for
35.
DP.
Yeah.
Too old, Ed.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. I just read something about him today that they're looking for him to
Yeah.
come in. But yeah, he's old. Um, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll
So
see who we get rid of. But dude, so we're already talking about players that need to leave. The season hasn't finished yet, Peter. I think we're giving up.
did you watch the fire of Neville after that goal got called back? He was kicking the chair. I
He was
like that. I
pissed.
like seeing him
Yeah,
that way.
yeah.
And I bring up Neville because I had a thought, and now I don't think he's going anywhere yet. But I was watching.
I think he's back for next year. It's a team pick. And plus he's Beckham's bud.
Yeah.
So I think he's got at least another year before anything happens. At least half the year if we suck next year too.
Right. We're losing you a little bit there, Ed.
I saw that. My face looked really
a little
crazy for a
little
second.
Max Headroom ish.
Yeah.
For those of you old enough to remember Max Headroom. But I brought up I bring up Neville now just because I was watching one of these MLS produced YouTube type shows, and they were talking about all the open vacancies. I think they said there were 6 vacancies or potential vacancies, right? And even Bob Bradley is a potential vacancy, they're saying, because his contract expires at LAFC this year. Do they bring him back? He's been a good coach there, but he's never gotten them to the promised land. And the question now that Chicago dumped their coach, do they bring him back? So all this coach talk and teams that are playing better than us, sacking coaches, it makes me wonder, is Neville safe? And while at the end of the day, I think I agree with you. I think he is safe, but I think it has to be part of the conversation that the team is not, well, okay, look here, what Nakata says, Neville had no plan B, right? So he sets out his game plan and that's it. And it seems to be, there's little adjustments to his game. So I don't know. I'm just talking. I have no idea. Right. What do you think?
Yeah, and like I said, I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I think he's still got a chance to, come back. He's already been talking about some of the players he's going to bring up from Fort Lauderdale. So yeah, there's a lot of there's George Acosta. There's I think he even mentioned his son. Who apparently is playing pretty decent. I don't know. Have you been able to watch the games? I always want to watch the games, and I just don't get the chance.
I watch some here and there. I did miss the last one. I catch them when I can. They're on ESPN Plus, so they're easy to watch. If you're not paying for ESPN Plus, what are you waiting for? It's $5 a month. So I've seen some of the players. George Acosta, definitely. I saw somebody mentioning him in the chat. He definitely deserves a chance. He's been the best player on that team. He deserves a chance. And I know Neville has complained about the way the leagues work and that he can't just grab players. When we were short on players and defenders and stuff like that, he couldn't grab any of those defenders because technically they're playing in another league. And so he was frustrated the way that works. He can't just call up players. They're technically loaned to USL or signed by USL, depending on who the player is, right? They're either not an Inter Miami player or they are, and they're loaned out. And so he was not able to just grab whoever he wants. Now, of course, in the offseason, that's a whole nother story. Bring him into training camp and sign him to a contract for Inter Miami or end the loan, whatever it is, depending on the player. Because, Acosta was assigned to Inter Miami, but he's a Fort Lauderdale player. But that whole rule of how difficult it is to move players between the teams, I would think, and I don't know for sure, but I would think come next year, it should be easier to move players between the two leagues because the association with USL is over next year. Majority, if not all, of the USL MLS clubs will be playing in a MLS run, third division. So if it's all MLS, shouldn't you be able to just like bring up players as you see fit? I mean, like, if you felt like Acosta's got in good form, or because of injuries, we've got players that we need to be able to bring up. We should be able to bring them up and down. And like I said, I think the issue between that now is solely the fact that they're two different leagues. Right. But if they're all under the one MLS umbrella, I would think. Now, they haven't ironed all that stuff out. We don't even know what that league is going to be called. We just know it's start kicking off next year. And so, I don't know.
Interesting to see what develops and where this goes, because, USL, might not be too happy with that maneuver, because what if this new league created becomes an MLS 2?
Okay, well, USL did this to themselves a little bit. USL wants the MLS teams out.
Suckers. All right.
Well, to some extent. They want the MLS teams out of the championship, because the MLS 2s do not take the USL seriously. They don't sell tickets, or if they do, nobody shows up. They don't promote it. They don't care. Sometimes you play on a B field, not even the main field. So they don't give the USL enough respect. Heck, they give it so little respect, they name the teams 2s and Bs. They don't even give them its own name like we did in Fort Lauderdale. At least they got their own name. They got their own identity. Even though it's closely linked, they still, they're... they want...
Let me do a little parentheses in here, Peter.
What's that?
The Fort Lauderdale CF.
Yeah.
Did you ever talk to see if we can get those jerseys?
No, I don't know who to talk to about that. You've got some good connections.
No, you didn't ask anybody at Caneswear, maybe, if that was ever going to be.
No, I mean they know just whatever their Adidas and Windcraft, I think it is, reps tell them. So I don't I don't think they would know. That's really up to the team as far as putting that up and making that available. So.
Gotcha.
But hey, we have another voicemail, so let's go to that.
No, let's hear it.
What's up, Peter? Uncle Ed. It's Jonathan. Just wanted to talk about the game that just happened. I think that it was a pretty good game. They didn't play really that bad, but they could have obviously tied the game, or possibly even won the game with the chances they created, like the one right before the game ended, where Leandro when Vasilis sent the ball across the ball and then right to Pitas, and then Pitas had that chance and then he missed it. So yeah, I feel like we could have tied the game. I definitely feel like we definitely could have not lost the game. And I just wanted to ask you, so now that we lost this game, Miami is in 11th place right now. Depending on how many games there are left, I think it's like 7 or 8 games left. If Miami can manage to step up and win, or maybe win or like a draw for every game, no losses for the rest of the games following, would that mean, or would that give Miami a chance to still squeeze into the playoffs?
Yeah, for sure. If they win more than they tie and don't lose any, something like that, which is near impossible for this team, yeah, they could get in the playoffs. There's a chance. And we've talked, and I know we've argued with a couple of our chatters here and there that do we want them to kind of back their way into the playoffs, because then they kind of look at that as, hey, the year was a success, when we all really know it wasn't.
Right.
And so there's that argument. But at the end of the day, you want to be in the playoffs. You want the team to play. You want them to make it. I think you said it one week, Ed, that you want them to have like a history that says something like, we've made the playoffs every year forever, right? Yeah, no matter how far they get in, at least they got in, because it's a whole new season once you're in.
Right. So, man, let's see if we can pull it off. But I don't know. I'm not too confident. I want to be more positive.
Me neither. I'm not as confident either. It was just, here Jet Pancake is saying, he said previously, I don't think Phil is a major problem. He faced a lot of difficulties this season, and he did make us go unbeaten for a while, though. Just needs to fix the inconsistencies. Yeah, I would like to give him more time, and I think he'll get it. Give him, let's make some changes and see what he could do,
And let him start picking his players. I think that's something that the previous coach Alonso also needed to do.
Yeah.
He should have been more involved with the players that he brought in. Same thing happened over here with Neville. So if they give him, next season the chance to get the players that he wants, considering that he's going to have a challenge because we're going to be fined, but he could bring up the players from Fort Lauderdale, and I think we'll be able to fill in some of those holes. And
right.
We might not get a championship team, but maybe we can get into the playoffs.
Yeah, maybe. Chris Menendez says, maybe the XBTO cursed us. We are 0-4 since they came on board.
I think we just had a good,
going back to what we are.
Right. We weren't what we thought we were getting for those few games, and you could see it now. I mean, we've gotten slaughtered. Today we had a chance. We lost that chance. I hope we could turn it around and get another, good run, so we can make the playoffs. But, even if we make the playoffs, we'll play against the team that gave us 5-0 the last time we played them. That would probably, we'd probably sneak in last. So we'd go against New England, and that's only one game and we're out. So, what do you think, Peter? That would kind of hurt a little bit more, but at least we'd make the playoffs.
Yeah, making the playoffs is always the goal. Always the goal to make the playoffs. Esteban, Ted's number one fan, says, if they don't start dumping some characters on this football club, then what will happen is there will be a dump on attendance next year. Read my lips or read my text.
Peter, that brings up a good point about last week. You weren't there, but we started talking a little bit about how they hiked up the season tickets,
right.
And a lot of people are incredibly disappointed.
Yeah,
they don't see why we need to pay. What was the percentage? I think you told me.
Well, I mean, so I wanted to do this as like a topic for a full show, but we can go into it a little bit. But because I wanted to kind of look at every section of the stadium to see what the percentage of increase was. I know what ours was. You and me, right. Our percentage of increase was 35%. It was not the same across the board. So I think, like in the supporters, I don't think there was an increase. I'm not sure, but I think it was from what the post I see is it's minor, if anything at all. Others, had a greater. So we're close to, mid line, right? We're not quite there. We're close to it, and so those seats, but we're higher up. And so in the past, the way that graphic looked, it was where we're sitting was yellow, I think is the color, and that color was like $35 per game, something like that. If we were like 10 rows lower, it would have been a little bit more expensive. But where we are, it was that price. Now, the way I think it's color coded, if I remember correctly, no matter where you're sitting, it's all been increased to around $55 per game.
Wow. Yeah,
and I think if my math was correct, I think that was a 35% increase. So people can correct me if I'm wrong because I suck at math. But right. Yeah. So I know a lot of people were pissed. And I think, yes, if anything, it's very bad timing on the team. But it doesn't surprise me, the increase. I don't think everybody is complaining that because we're bad, they shouldn't increase the price of the tickets. But I just, for some reason, and this probably should not be the case, but I don't think one has anything to do with the other. I don't think business side necessarily looks at what the players are doing as far as what kind of moves the business side should make.
Right.
Now, maybe they should, but I don't. It doesn't look like they are.
Yeah, I would think they would, because a lot of people that I've talked to, they're saying they're not going to renew next year.
But think of it this. But think of it this way: the business plan has to work regardless of wins or losses. And to them, they felt like this, and realize the ownership changed. Jorge Mas had to spend more money. He might want to recoup some of that money. They now are talking about potentially building an NWSL club, and that's a whole another story to talk about NWSL, what's going on over there. But so there's more investment that they are talking about making. I'm not trying to make it sound like it's okay, but I guess I kind of understand. It is what One World, One Goal said, just bad optics at the end of the day. It's really bad optics that, you're losing and you raise the price. It doesn't shock me. For years, you and I would go to lower level teams and dreamed of having MLS. And having the top flight soccer, top flight sport in your town comes at a price.
Yeah.
And we're paying it. As much as they increased the price of the tickets, for some reason, the parking pisses me off more than the game price. And
seats. Did the parking go up also?
No.
Okay.
But
sucked.
I've been in contact with my rep, right? Because I still have this issue, and I've asked them to fix it, and he said he was going to try, but still nothing. I don't get any emails from the ticket sales side. So there's an email. It's called members. I think it's called members@intermiamicf.com. I don't get any of those emails. Now I get every other marketing email that they have. They want to advertise that they've got Wendy's watch parties. I get those emails, but the ones that really matter, I don't get. And so he told me they would try to fix it. But I've been in contact with my rep and to renew, and I asked him, it says on there that there's discount prices for parking for season ticket holders. So he told me the price of the parking was going to be $25. I said, wait a minute. That's what I paid last year when I just bought, each single game. The discount is that you're not paying the service fee from Ticketmaster.
Okay.
So the service fee is $5. So really, a $25 parking really costs $30 because you got to pay for it in advance. Otherwise, if you go to the stadium, it's going to be $40. So so you're paying for them in advance. So you're getting a $5 service fee from Ticketmaster. That's what they call their discount. That ain't a discount to me. Give me like $20 parking. And then I'd say, all right, even just something like that, $15 parking, $20 parking to reward me for being a season ticket holder. I think that's fair, especially, and maybe you make that deal only if you buy them in advance, like you wrap up the entire season, which is what I'm doing. I don't want to pay it, but I'm doing it. Because what other option do I have? I mean, there's not a ton of parking around there. I know that Southern Legion has some parking available, but that's limited, and the convenience of parking at the gravel parking lot or the paved parking lot on the other side, which is more expensive, so I'm not doing that. Doofster, which is a new name. I've never seen this guy watching, so thank you for tuning in. This is rough. Such an increase for such mediocre product and even worse customer relations. My ticket rep has changed 3 to 4 times.
Yeah.
So
that's another thing.
Doofster, which is an interesting name. I would say I could understand some of the ticket relations issues, but the fact that your ticket rep has changed 3 to 4 times, I don't think is related. My opinion, because from what I understand, and I just going from hearsay from other people, this is the case in most sports. Ticket reps is an entry-level position, and it's a revolving door. In the Dolphins and the Marlins and the Panthers, I think it's, from what I heard, it's the same thing. So now, if whoever you've had has dropped the ball, or they don't contact, or in my case, they don't fix the stupid email problem, then okay, that's bad customer service.
So yeah, hopefully Inter Miami is going to get that fixed for Peter Brown, because man, he needs his emails.
I do. Yeah. I can show them how to fix it if they want. Kata is saying, is the business worth losing fans for the future revenue? Yeah, that's a good question. So
I'd rather Peter have more people in the stadium so they could spend money in there.
So
buy jerseys and stuff like that.
Right. And so look, going back to Caneswear, that's why to go and put this logo on any old shirt you want is cheap. It's because they're trying to get you in the door. Right. So they're not going to charge you $20 because they probably could, but they're only going to charge you $10 just to get you in the door. So it's that same concept. Keep the prices reasonable to get you in the door so that you spend a lot of money on beer and merchandise and I'll tell you, the last game, I know you weren't at the last game, but that first game, I think the last game, the first game that they had the shirt sponsor, I think, whatever that game was. They sold a lot of jerseys that game because there were a lot of people with this sponsor on their shirts. Mm-hmm. A lot of merchandise was sold that case. So anybody that was complaining about, I forgot who was complaining about wanting a blank shirt. They prefer a blank shirt. This people spoke at the stadium, and there was a lot of jerseys sold that game. So they made some money on jerseys. So I agree with. Look, I sounded like I was maybe defending the decision. I'm not. I'm not surprised, I guess. I'm not shocked by it. Is it a right decision? No. Is it smart at the time? Is the timing good? No. But I get it. I understand it. I wish it wasn't the case. What I think would have been, a better idea is wait till you have, the stadium full every game, and then you can raise when there's demand. When there's more demand.
Yeah, my take is, I would have kept the prices. They could have raised them not that much, because I want people to go to the stadium. I want them to spend money in there. So, I don't know. There's smarter people in the team, I imagine, and they think they're going to make their money back better this way by raising up the prices for the seats. Maybe they're right. I don't know.
Right, and here's Esteban's thinking. I guess Moss must think that South Florida football fans are naive or do not have options. And that's, I don't think he thinks they're naive, but I think you need to remember that there are other options. I think Esteban's right there. The beach is a great option, right? I mean, there's so many other options in South Florida that fans can go and fill their time or their entertainment dollars with.
Right.
So many other options. But look, I'm renewing my season tickets. But at the end of the day, and I think I made this comparison in a previous show because they're two things that are close to my heart, and I've seen a similar uprising between both fan bases, and that's Disney and Inter Miami, and both incredibly raised their prices. Disney did away with their annual passes, and then really increased the price and then removed some of the options that were previously. So that you're spending more, getting less. So for your annual passes. And you want to see a fan base throw a fit, you piss off a Disney fan base. Oh my God, there's internet riots. And so it's the same thing happening here with Inter Miami. It seems a little tone deaf, especially we're still not out of a pandemic. People have maybe not even recovered yet. Some people may have exorbitant hospital bills because of what they've gone through in the last year and a half, 2 years.
Oh yeah.
And here we all want to be entertained. We want to support our team. And yet we want to put food on the table and be, pay for private school or whatever you're doing, whatever your thing is. So it's asking, and there's been a lot of people I saw that said, I'm out. I agree. I saw that a lot, Ed. A lot of people saying I'm out.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying that. So, um, or they're gonna, go to the supporter section, which I might have to do.
No, you're not.
I'm looking at my budget and saying, man, I don't know, man. I started with the supporters section, then and then, I wanted to sit next to Peter Brown and Julio Caballero, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna go sit with the dudes with the money. So, but yeah, I gotta recheck my budget and see what I can do.
It's not as much as it is. They allow you to do 6 payments, and it's not crazy money, but here's something. Here's where I'm gonna yell at Esteban here. He says, my perspective is I won't buy season tickets unless they build that Miami stadium. Otherwise, I will watch on TV or via the app. That's a dumb take. That kind of take is stupid and just is, to me, you're not a serious fan. I'm sorry. I just think that is the weakest of excuses. I won't drive. Come on, Ed's driving from Kendall or something like that these days.
Now I'm by the zoo, man. I'm even farther.
Right. I'm in North Broward. Okay? I'm almost in Boca. And yes, it's easy for me to go to the Fort Lauderdale Stadium. But guess what? I will drive to Miami, and it will be like an hour drive probably with traffic and all that. I will do it.
Right.
If you're a true soccer fan, if you're a true Inter Miami fan, if you care about local soccer, because this has been an argument I've been yelling at for years when the Strikers and the Miami FC and there's this invisible wall between Dade and Broward, and people just can't get in their stupid car and drive. Carpool with people if it saves some bucks on gas or something. But I just think that's a weak excuse. You're not a dedicated fan then. Get off your lazy butt and make the drive. We need you. We need you
carpool,
in the stadium.
Yeah, carpool with me, Esteban. I'll pick you up on the way.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, we need everybody at the stadium.
We need everybody and their mama.
We need the people from Broward to drive to Miami when that stadium is built. And as much as I'm yelling at you for not driving north, I'll yell at the Broward people for not driving south, because we're going to hear similar arguments, and I think it is stupid. I always felt, it's like, what the heck is there? And we've had so many shows, Ed, over the years, whether it be our podcast or whatever this, and we're talking about this wall. There's like this Dade Broward wall that people can't cross. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
We've lived through that for the longest. We've seen it happen so many times, and people just say they're not going to drive when they move down to Miami, and I'm driving up to Fort Lauderdale, and I've done it before for the Miami Fusion.
Yeah,
this isn't the first time that we've done it. I drove up for the Strikers games.
Right.
I'm a soccer fan, and I want to see soccer live and
right.
And experience that. We've got Major League Soccer, guys, so let's go out there and support it. Hell, you can't afford the seats then just go to the supporter section, and
yeah, if money's a problem, get the cheaper seats. But here, let Doofster is saying, and so I have a comment on this. Peter, you are a true soccer fan. 80% of the people that go to the game aren't. You can't force someone to spend gas money either. People in Miami are bandwagon, unfortunately. Okay. But I think, and you're probably right? I can't force anybody. I learned a long time ago, you can't tell anybody how to be a fan. Everybody's going to be a fan in their own unique way, right? And because I've gotten mad at people, and I was like, why am I mad at them? That's stupid. You can't tell someone how to be a fan. But here I am, because I think if you're spending your time watching this channel, you are a true fan, right? Otherwise, so when it comes from somebody who's here with us every single week, you'll let me down, because I think you guys watching this are the true fans, because you come week in, week out, hang out with us, have some fun, talk Inter Miami, but yet you won't drive to Fort Lauderdale? Come on.
Yeah, their fans are just different types of fans, like you said. And I wish we'd have had some music background right there for when you ended it. I think there's some music chimes in the program, Peter. You got to start using those some more.
Oh, you want some chimes and stuff for what?
Yeah.
For what? What do you want to hear?
Right after you went through your whole thing. Oh, you should have at least done a transition. That would have been good.
But see, I get so wrapped up that I forget about doing stuff like that.
There you go. That would have helped.
Could have done this.
Go to that little transition. There you go.
So I got that's where hosting, yelling, and running the show is hard. Because sometimes we'll just stick with the same frame just because it's easy. When I should be doing stuff like like this and
changing
like this
all the time.
I should be doing like that, but it does sometimes get hard. But we could also.
There you go.
After a hard take. Mm-hmm. Here, Eric Thomas saying that, amen, Peter Brown. Some people don't even live in the state of Florida and still manage to spend their hard-earned money to go to games and buy season tickets.
Yeah. Eric Thomas, he lives far away and he still wants to show up to the games. Those are some true fans right there.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, I'm sorry. Kata's saying that one needed an air horn. All right, I think he meant Eric Thomas's comment needed an air horn, but you got it, Kata. No, I just think, and look, I understand that a good portion of the fans in the stadium are fair weather. And you just know by the people sitting around you because you see the same people at some games and you see it change at other games, or you see empty spots. So there's a lot of fair weather fans. There's a lot of people that are going to the game just because their son bugged them to go to a game, right? And the mom doesn't really care. But like I said, at the end of the day, I think those of you that are watching this channel, I think you're diehard fans, and you should be willing to drive an hour, 45 minutes. And I know here we've got a new Weissman who watches us and listens from Atlanta. And he's saying that he drives 45 minutes one way to Atlanta for every home match. So, and I've made these drives. Look, I started doing this. The first time I think I really had to make the long drives on a consistent basis because look, Miami Fusion was they played a couple of games in the Orange Bowl, but the first team that I went to week in, week out that was a drive was Miami FC when they were playing at Tropical Park, and I was at every game, and it was 45 minutes to an hour, but I drove it. So.
Same thing with me when I went up to Fort Lauderdale for our Fusion games and for the Strikers games as well. I was up there.
Even drove to West Palm Beach to watch our Magic. What was it? Magic.
Magic Jack.
Magic Jack. That was the name of the team. Magic Jack for that short season.
Magic Jack.
Yeah.
And then that was an all-star team right there of lady players and stuff. But you brought up the ladies team, Peter. There's some controversy going on. Could you tell me a little bit about it? Because I briefly read about it, but I didn't really understand what was going on. I
briefly read about it too, and I think there was something in the Athletic that I was reading, and it was sporadic because it was posting like live comments as things were coming in. And from what I understand, I didn't deep dive into it yet. But I think it was the North Carolina Courage coach, I think it was, who's accused of inappropriate behavior to his players. Some players came out and said they felt forced or to have sexual favors with him. One player said he said for the two women to do something together while he would watch, and it's total inappropriate behavior for any man, especially one in power. And I think there's more accusations. I'm probably missing a lot because I just glazed over it myself. But there's just what the thing I read in the Athletic was mostly talking about at the time, because it was not a deep dive. Like I said, it was live commentary. It was mostly all the other players, supporting each other, right? Saying, coming out. And now the NWSL commissioner, I think it's Lisa Baird, she stepped down, kind of was forced to step down because this happened under her watch. And there's talk about, people knew some of this stuff was going on and they didn't do anything about it. So, yeah, he's seems to be a real scumball. And like Kata is saying that, the guy needs to go to jail. I'm sure something, they're going to start looking into this. So,
wow, man. That
yeah,
really sucks.
It's looking bad. There's lots of, there was at the game, tonight, the Inter Miami game, there was a big banner that said something about protect our women, something like that. Protect our players, protect our women, something like that. And something about the NWSL.
Wow.
So
crazy stuff, Peter Brown.
Yeah,
crazy stuff.
Yeah, bad stuff.
So,
anyways, guys, I think that pretty much wraps it up. I think we went over an hour today. We normally try to keep this around an hour and 5 minutes.
Since we started, kind of a little bit after the game. So kind of like a little recap. If we have a chance, we need to start winning games. If we continue the path we're going through, we're not going to make the playoffs. We want to be positive, but I don't think it's going to happen. So just the way that we've been going, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think we're going to make the playoffs. But I'm hoping that we can rebuild, this team next season, and hopefully, with fines and everything that's against us, because this team seems to be always getting stuff against them, man. If it's not one thing, it's another. They can. The thing is, we've got a team in South Florida, and we need to support it, even though they raise up the the cost of the tickets. If it's not one thing, it's another, Peter.
Just to make you guys that want sound
more
effects happy.
Yeah. On that
note, I try, if anybody calls in, I try to get to them. So I let's go an extra minute and 36 seconds long and play this. All right, it's not playing for you, it looks like. So let me redo this little trick I had to do for once in a while. I don't know why I have to do it. It should be once it's set. It's good all the time, but apparently it doesn't want to be
At least
set.
you know how to fix it.
Yeah, well, I've had to learn on the spot, right?
Hey guys, what's up, Peter? What's up, Uncle Ed? This is Napoleon Picaya. I've been listening to you guys for a long time. Love the show. Calling you from Deerfield Beach, Florida, so I'm not too far from the stadium. I was just calling with some remarks about this last game. I'm really, really disappointed in the way that Mr. Phil Neville is coaching, or has coached at least the last games. He found what he believed was a winning formation when we had that little win streak going. But it happens with many coaches. Once you find that winning streak, maybe you want to try experimenting. Maybe you want to bring this stuff. It's not his fault that he had some players that were, they got red carded or yellow carded or whatever. But what I'm seeing now is just like a complete lack of understanding between the coaching style and what the players are trying to do. I just see a very defensive play, plus our trident in the front, Robert Robinson and Higuain and Pizarro. Robinson is having some really, really horrible games, at least the last 3 or 4 games that I've watched from him. Really poor play. Pizarro, not so great either. And Higuain having to drop back all that time to try to play the ball and create some chances kind of tells you what this team is going through. Like, if Higuain has to drop back and try to create or play as a number 10, what are we doing? What is Neville doing? Anyways, guys, love the show. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll be here for the next one. Cheers.
All right. Thanks a lot for that comment. I'll just end it for me like this. In that case, I don't totally blame Neville. The players aren't doing what they should be doing. Higuain has to drop back because Pizarro can't do the job. And so I said it before, that he will, before the end of the season, be the actual number 10, Higuain. Next year, I would not be shocked if he starts as that position. Maybe he has the number 9 on his back, but I think he will be, lined up as a 10 next year that maybe, likes to score once in a while. But That's what I think. Our attack is dismal. So I think he's doing the best he can with what he has. Any last thoughts before we go, Ed?
Nothing much, Peter. Just thanks for watching us, guys. Don't forget to go to Caneswear and get that discount. And
that's PB as in Peter Brown, PB25. I did not
as in his age, as his age. Yeah, PB25.
Let's see, my age is the opposite. The complete. You switch those numbers around. That is my age. I didn't think about that, but it's a good discount. So go there and spend some money and get a good discount. Like I said, and if you follow us on social media, it's the best prices in town. You're not forget about buying them at the stadium. On your way to the stadium, if you're coming from south, on your way to the stadium, go to Caneswear. So there's that. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for playing along tonight, having fun with us. We'll do this again next week. Hopefully, it'll be for a happier occasion. If not, we'll have to find something else to talk about because we can't talk about the same thing every single weekend, right? We can't just say every single weekend the same thing.
We suck again.
Yeah. And we suck again. Pizarro is not doing his job. Higuain's dropping back too much. Somebody fell asleep in our defense. We could just replay the same show next week, probably. But let's hope not. And if it's a loss, let's think of something new to talk about. But anyways, thanks so much, everybody, for watching. I think somebody wants us to talk about Fort Lauderdale next week. Okay, that probably is a better topic. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.